but they actually say that couples who hit the age of 40, who have a household income of $100,000 as an example, should have a savings of about $250,000. And hello everyone, this is Ronan Blue, just taking my daily walk here today. And today's topic would be a couple's target towards early retirement. So I bet this topic isn't really talked about by a lot of couples. You know, it's too early to talk about, right? Because the majority of people through traditional retirement don't talk about this till the age of 65. But there is a bit of a trend that's going on nowadays, that there is a possibility of retiring early using philosophies talked about by the FIRE movement, financially independent, retire early. And you know, it draws out all of these different techniques and methods to get to early retirement. It becomes more of a reality for couples with dual income as well. So no matter your background, you know, whether or not you have kids or don't have kids, even single people could reach early retirement as well if they put their mind to it. But although a lot of people don't talk about early retirement because they have other priorities to talk about, because we live in a world of really accumulating material status. That's what the majority of society does anyways. But when you do start talking about it, it's kind of inevitable, because in the end, everyone does eventually retire. Some people actually never get that opportunity to retire because they never really saved money or had the opportunity of making more money through their careers. But when you do sit down with your partner and talk about the possibility of early retirement, it's a fun thought to think about, right? Because you share your goals with each other, essentially, on what each person wants to do in the future. It could be you guys want to live in the mountains if you wanted to, or you might want to follow what we're doing in wanting to travel abroad and to live abroad. And it could be, you know, just retiring early to be with your children so you can homeschool them. So, you know, a lot of different reasons why people would choose early retirement. And it's a fun thing to think about. And if each of you know exactly what each other want, it's very much possible, right? Because you're combining your goals together to achieve that one goal towards happiness. But what you can do is, just for fun, make a list of 10 items that each of you have, right? In separate rooms, and from number 1 to number 10. And after you come out with each of your lists there, you get back together again and compare the listing together. And most likely, the top 5 items on each of your lists might match a little bit. Who knows? But it'll be interesting to see when you cross-reference your listing, and you can choose from that and, you know, determine what your goals will be. And it's a fun thing to think about. And when we did our listing, definitely what we both agreed on was in traveling abroad and finding our place in the future to be able to stretch our dollars further, like in Southeast Asia, for example. And it actually made it really easy for us, right? Once we knew exactly what each other's wants were, it made it easier for us to achieve our goals because we had a mutual agreement. So that's essentially what you need to do as well. You need to figure out what you both agree on. So it makes it easier, and there's a drive in both of you to achieve it. So we definitely had that drive that continued for well over 10 years. And I mean, we bumped heads with each other here and there, you know, because there's certain wants we wanted along the way, but we figured it out. And it was actually a good feeling in the end in achieving financial independence. And we started to travel abroad because we learned a valuable lesson while we were traveling abroad. The amount of things that we had was within one backpack and one suitcase. So, but you can very much live a very happy lifestyle with very little space, you know, because you're left with knowing that you can't really carry too much in life. So we were definitely living the pure definition of what minimalism was, and it was a great feeling. And we actually brought that mentality back even more enforced than before. So, and we're still very happy with our lifestyles, you know, living with less. But you definitely want to figure out when you want to retire as well. Like some people, you know, traditionally you would retire at 65. But some people like ourselves target the age even younger than that, under 40. So you have to choose a specific day, age in which you want to retire. I mean, you don't necessarily have to, but it's actually kind of, you know, in the category of goal setting. It could be also the, you know, the lump sum that you accumulate as well. Let's say $1 million. So, or you can combine both of them, whatever, you know, you choose as a couple, especially if you have dual income. And it's very much achievable to do so with wise decisions, you know, and having to also set up, you know, mutual accounts, for example, or a joint brokerage account. You can have separate accounts as well, of course, and, you know, organize all of those finer details for you to have security in the future for early retirement. But for us, I mean, we had different methods that we followed in saving, and we followed them. We had that discipline to follow them over the years, and we also had a really good savings rate as well, you know, and it was pretty much like a game for us. We first started off with 10% per month in savings, and then that eventually, through discipline, became 50% to 60%. It actually kind of fluctuated. And we had this Excel form that we always refer to. And when we did achieve a goal, we gave ourselves a little bit of a reward as well. You know, at the end of the month, it's always important to give yourselves a reward. I mean, as long as it's not like a humongously big reward that's costly for you. But, you know, those little things, the simpler things in life are really rewarding if you know what to look for. Like simply taking a walk for us is awesome, and also having to, you know, enjoy the sun as well, which is absolutely free, is refreshing as well. And just those simpler things in life that you start to really discover, other than going about spending a lot more money out there in trying to find that happiness. You try and find certain alternatives you can do together as a couple, and to simply enjoy it. But they actually say that couples who hit the age of 40, who have a household income of $100,000 as an example, should have a savings of about $250,000. And a couple who hits the age of 45 with that same amount of income should have about $350,000 in savings, and that's just the bare average. But if you go way above the average, because the average is around 15% of your savings per month, if you go to 50 to 60%, imagine that, a savings rate of 50 to 60% with dual incomes. So it'll be a lot more higher than the $350,000 average. So it's very much possible to achieve. I mean, we're examples of it, right? So not only us, but there's a whole bunch of different people that have achieved financial independence and have retired early. But one key lifestyle that I suggest you follow if you're really serious about financial independence would be to just simply not follow the Joneses. You know, majority of our society follows the Joneses, and we're very much the opposite of that, right? You know, we didn't, try and set our goals in buying that big house or buying that fast car and buying all of those gadgets. We put those aside, and you get a lot of pressure, societal pressures from your family and your friends, and the TV advertisements that you see that always advertises all of these products, making you believe that you're a better person if you actually purchase those items, later to find out that they just get stored away and are pretty much meaningless to your life in the longer term. But that's what I highly suggest. You don't really follow the Joneses, and maybe follow philosophies such as minimalism and basically living below your means and saving as much as possible, because although it does initially feel like you're making certain sacrifices and you're depriving yourself, you'll find in the longer term that it's very much beneficial. You'll be happier that way in the future, but you'll have to know that in the future, going towards trying to achieve financial independence, that you're going to have a lot of different conversations on how to save. That's going to really determine how you're going to spend your vacations or the big purchases that you make. And but you got to cooperate and try and overcome all of those differences, and it'll make you stronger as a couple when you do so as well. But we eventually figured it out, and we're happy of how it turned out in the end. Well, I think I end my vlog here today. Tell me what you think of a couple's target to early retirement in the comment section below. If you like this vlog, please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell for more of my coming content here. Thank you for watching my vlog. Be free, gain wealth, and travel far.